On April 17th, 2000, a small cardboard box was discovered on the side of a highway. The box was found by a couple taking a jog, and the cardboard on the box was damp and damaged with dirt and tears. The top was tightly sealed with duct tape, but the most noticeable feature was the faded and slightly smeared label of the package. Jesse's box was written with a purple marker on the face of the box. The couple found a collection of VHS tapes and a notebook that was enclosed with a tiny silver lock. The box had 14 tapes in it. The first 5 tapes were labeled in fine handwriting. Tape 1, Sunshine House. Tape 2, Feet in Sand. Tape 3, Fishy Fish. Tape 4, Field. Tape 5, Look at the Stars. The next 6 tapes were titled in pencil, and 2 of them, being tape 7 and 10, were drawn with a green-colored pencil. Tape 6 was Andy Andy, tape 7 was Harvesting Trail, tape 8 was 5 Trees, tape 9 Large Finger, tape 10 Poppy Barn, and tape 11 Boiling Skin. The last 3 tapes were unreadable. The only thing on the labels were messy smears and dried coats of pen ink, and aggressive, deep scratches on the clear plastic that displayed the film tape. Suspicious of the box's contents, the couple turned it into the police. The tapes were reviewed by Detective Otto Simmons. He played the tapes in order. Tape 1. The first 30 seconds viewed the site of a 2-story house. The camera turns away from the house to show 3 children feeding a squirrel pieces of bread in front of a shed. The person recording this slowly approached the children. The 2 kids who were watching the child feed the little creature looked up at the camera and giggled. The tape ends here. Tape 2. This one starts off with the scene of the ocean for about 6 seconds before a little girl's voice is heard laughing cheerfully. The camera shows a small girl building a sand mountain on a wet beach. An adult man approaches the girl and hands her some seashells. She stares in excitement before snatching them and starts decorating her sand pile. The tape ends here. Tape 3. A young boy's breathing can be heard as he presumably holds the camera in front of a fishbowl with 4 swimming goldfish. He begins to whisper, but his voice is too quiet, making it impossible to confirm what his words are. He then sprinkles a small handful of flakes in the bowl. This lasts 15 seconds as the boy breathes as he watches the fishes eat. The tape ends here. Tape 4. A wheat field in the afternoon is being shown. A woman speaks. It's a beautiful day out here in Idaho. A man then talks. I know. Do you think... His voice is impossible to hear over the sounds of wind that is heard. The woman sighs, and the camera starts slightly trembling for the remaining 8 seconds. The tape ends here. Tape 5. It starts with a black screen for 2 minutes, but the sound of the outdoors and 2 people are heard. They sound like 2 older children, perhaps 14 or 15. A girl speaks. Do you believe in ghosts? Another boy answers. I don't know, but do you think they can hear and watch? It is silent for a while before the girl answers. I don't feel good. Can we go inside? The camera flips and shows a dark blue sky and a bright white waning gibbous moon. The boy starts sniffling. The tape ends here. Tape 6. The entire tape was just the camera facing a white door in a bedroom with sunlight coming from a window behind the camera and onto the door. Nothing happens for 3 minutes. The tape ends here. Tape 7. The person holding the camera is speed walking through a thick green forest early in the morning. The individual is heard chewing on something and making popping noises, most likely gum. The camera stops and turns to a group of foliage, and the person slowly walks up to the plants. Their hand is shown. It is gloved. They reach towards one of the bushes. The tape ends here. Tape 8. The tape doesn't show anything related to trees. Instead, it shows disturbing things, such as a pair of skinny legs being pulled under a bed, a woman humming to herself as she continuously pours an excessive amount of soap on a cleaver while aggressively scrubbing it in the sink with steaming hot water, and a close-up of someone's teeth. They begin to open their mouth before the tape ends. Tape 9. This tape is reported to be painful to watch. The whole recording is a man with long fingernails, speculated to be at least 9 inches long, and the camera shows the man scratching his legs intensely. The flesh goes from red to bleeding to tearing, and the man whimpering. This goes on for about 10 minutes until the man stops suddenly and begins screaming and crying loudly before the camera is stopped. Tape 10. A person of an unknown gender is heard panting extremely heavily, completely drowning out any other sound. The person is in a dimly lit and wooden room. They turn around to be in a dark hallway. The camera's lens was unable to properly see in the dark. The person seems to see something because they let out a scream which reveals them to be a woman. They run out of a door and drop the camera. It shows the night sky, and the sky is dark, and there appears to be a first quarter moon. A faint and dry moan is heard nearby. The tape ends here. Tape 11. The camera is back facing the white door again. This time, there is no sunlight, and a broken chair is seen in the corner of the room. 7 minutes of silence later, someone starts turning the doorknob, but the knob only turns halfway before going back to its normal position. Shouting comes from behind the door along with loud bangs. Water starts leaking from the door, and the shouting becomes more raspy and violent. The tape ends with the camera being thrown to the door. The last 3 tapes were viewed by Otto Simmons, but he refused to discuss what he saw. He suffered from extreme anxiety and paranoia, and he left the building without a word other than his refusal. A group of people were hired to analyze the last 3 tapes, and after several hours later, none of the viewers came out of the video. A worker entered the room and was greeted with the corpses of the last of the viewers on the floor. Their bodies looked okay, but their faces looked peaceful. The last remaining viewer was sitting in a corner of the room. He was shaking in fear, stared at the broken VHS player. The TV was wet and covered in boiling hot water. All of the tapes were back in the box, except for the last 3 tapes. Otto Simmons hasn't been found to this day. His house was searched, and everything was there and fine. His car was still at his station, so it was theorized that he left on foot after he left. The last viewer was questioned, but all he said in a weak and small voice: itchy, boil, house, itchy. The man never spoke again. One of the workers watched the first 6 tapes, the most mild of them all, and he noticed the woman say, "It's a beautiful day out here in Idaho." But upon further observation of the tape's locations, the detectives have come with the conclusion that no such place in Idaho that was shown in the tapes, the house, the field, the barn, even exists.